Hi, this is Julie Bisbee with The Oklahoman, and I'm here with John Tyler Hammons, a 19-year-old candidate for mayor of Muskogee. Tell us a little bit about why you wanted to run for mayor. You're 19, you should be, in college or tuning up your truck or whatever.
Well, thank you, Julie, for having me. I wanted to run for mayor because I believe I can make a difference. My whole life I've been taught that every vote counts, every one person matters, even the smallest individual can make the biggest of differences, and I'm applying that to my life.
And tell us about the campaign so far. You won the election, but now it's going to go to a runoff because you didn't get more than 50%.
Right. Just like you said, it has to go to a runoff because in Muskogee you have to get 50% plus one vote to be anything, mayor, city council, or anything. And I came in first in that, I came in 42%, so we're close. We're not there yet, but we're very close. And that campaign has been the most humbling experience of my life. I wouldn't trade any of it the last 6 weeks. I've loved it all. My family has blessed me, my supporters have blessed me, my friends have blessed me. Just a wonderful experience for me, and I look forward to doing it again.
And how was it that you decided to run for mayor? I think you told me about a teacher maybe inspired you.
A former teacher of mine, now a very good friend, he's my campaign chairman, Jack Harrison of Muskogee. I went into his office one day at Muskogee High School, and I no more said 3 words to him, and he said, "You're running for mayor, or we're not friends anymore." And I laughed at him, and we sat down, we talked for a couple of hours, and he finally convinced me to run. And I'm so glad he did. I'm so glad we had that conversation. I'm so glad I went to see him because now I stand a very good chance of being mayor. And
you will be, if you're elected, you'll be one of the youngest mayors in the state. I think there was an 18-year-old that maybe had a mayorship in Tishomingo or something. Muskogee kind of has a history of electing young politicians. What sort of response have you gotten, and what was your reaction? Going into it, I'm sure you thought maybe we'll see what happens.
Right. The whole election cycle, we're thinking, we're going to see how we do. We're not going to be overly optimistic. We're not being pessimistic either. Just whatever happens, happens. And we talked with people, and every time we spoke with someone, it was very positive. People several times my age were saying, "We're voting for you. We're so glad you're running. Thank you for running. You've been a blessing to us." And it's such a humbling experience. And obviously, people went out to the polls and voted, and they said that I am the number one choice. Again, obviously not the mayor yet, but I'm the number one choice. And that's just been the most humbling thing. And all of it's been positive. Very, very, very few people have been anything but that. So I count that as a great thing for me in my campaign.
What qualities do you think resonate with the voters, or what have you been told is a reason why they want to support you when there's someone who's been in politics for most of your life, at least, if not more?
What I've heard, just through the grapevine, through my friends, and what people have told me direct me, is that they like me because for the first time in 30 years, I'm the one candidate that doesn't owe anybody anything. I have no baggage. I've not run for anything before. I don't owe anybody anything. I've got no fights to win. I've just had the people's business to do. I'm honest with the people. I've been honest with them since February 5th when I announced I was running for mayor, and I continue to be honest. I'm only going to say what I think is true. If I'm elected, you're going to get change, but you know where I'm standing. I'm not going to surprise you. If you want to know where I stand on something, ask me, and I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm. And so, what's next? Where do you go from here? What's your strategy?
Just kill them with kindness, if you will. We're just nothing but positive campaigning. I don't like negative. I don't think the people like negative ads. That's something a lot of people hate about politics in general. I'm not going to be running a negative campaign. It's going to be a real David versus Goliath fight. I really believe that. But if you know your biblical history, David didn't win that fight because he was meaner or because he was tougher. He won it because he believed in what he was doing. And me and my supporters very much believe in change, that we can bring change to Muskogee. And the voters will see that. I'm sure they will. And I think they'll send me to the mayoralship.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about the role of mayor in Muskogee. It's a part-time job, right?
Right. The mayor doesn't get paid. It's a nonpartisan job, and it's a part-time job, no money. And our mayor has no executive or administrative responsibilities whatsoever. No budgetary responsibility, no appointment responsibilities. All the mayor does is be a chief spokesman for the city, to lead the council and provide a vision for the city and say, here's where we want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, whatever it may be. The city manager, we have a full-time city manager. He's the one that does the budget. He does appointments. He makes sure that when you turn the faucet, water comes out. That's his job. My job as mayor would be to be your chief representative to the city and to the world.
Very good. And so if you're elected mayor, what's sort of your 5-year goal, I guess? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, regardless of what happens with this race?
Well, 5 years, I mean, that's a tough one to say because I hope to be mayor, but if we are mayor, that'll change up positions. If we're not, then that'll change up positions. Maybe in 2 years I consider running for mayor again, or maybe I won't, I don't know. But 5 years, that's a long way away for me right now. I'll stay in politics, I'm sure of that. Either maybe state representative, state senator, congressman, I don't know. We'll see where we are in 5 years. Okay,
well, very good. Is there anything else you want to add?
I truly believe Muskogee's best days are ahead of us, not behind us. I've said that since day one of this campaign. I continue to believe it, and the voters are wanting change. I can bring change. I don't owe anybody anything, and I'm a fresh face. I'd be happy to work with anyone on the council and the rest of our city government. We can make a difference. I know we can.
Very good. All right.
Let's see it.